Maybe Alex.
Hey, scientist, I'm just posting the link as soon
Good.
as I can see it in my app.
So I'm spectating. So we're all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, perfect. So there we go. Share.
Oh no, error. Did you get that? It's got an error
Just,
code. Did you get
just
that?
restart. Just restart. Everything's fine. Just restart.
Yeah, will do. Will it go back to the main menu?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Just,
Oh, what a
just
pain
leave.
in the
Yeah,
ass.
it's no problem. It's 5 minutes. Just
Yeah.
leave the party chat when go back in and just tell them that everybody has to leave, and then it's all good. Perfect.
Second time lucky, eh?
Hopefully. Stream is online. Posted on Discord.
Yeah. I've just been saving your videos to a playlist on my channel, so any views that you get obviously are linked to your account, if that means anything. Okay. Ooh, it's a bit cloudy.
I don't see shit.
Welcome to Mexico, Ballots.
Yeah, I'm in there a few seconds, so I'm not feeling it yet.
So we have Corleone in the Ferrari on pole position, joined on the front row by Williams of SJ.
Scientists, what's special about tonight that we are in El Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico? Who's missing and who got the chance to climb at the top and maybe get some crucial points for the championship tonight?
So our top two in the Drivers' Championship, Nick and Chatty Duck, are not able to race tonight. So there's a big opportunity for a lot of guys, particularly Spooner, I think is not too far behind in the championship. But pretty much all these guys have got a chance to take big points tonight and close that gap.
So it sounds to me like we have some special race upcoming here, especially after we got Monaco last weekend and France with it. So we got now 5 red lights going out in Mexico as we head on Corleone on pole, winning the start, but the slipstream is pretty powerful here in Mexico. So let's see who's got the nose in for turn 1. It's Corleone still leading, and to be more cautious, and Corleone leading the pack.
And we've got Spinner, we've got a racing point that's yellow flag there in sector 1.
Corleone is still leading the pack, Basketball Boy in the McLaren behind him, D'Cunha in 3rd, G-Mac in 4th, SJ in the Williams in 5th, losing some positions from the start, but Basketball Boy already pressurizing Corleone into the fast S section, where you can make so many mistakes and losing the car, getting a penalty while getting your car back on track, but just penalized by leaving the track. Corleone is still in 1st, and here we see our possible strategies if you start on the soft tire. So the medium and the hard strategy is on, but as I've seen, Corleone on the soft compound of tire in 1st, Basketball Boy also on the softs, and Corleone after lap 1 still in the lead. Scientists, what's happening in the back? We got a first pit stop.
So Maggot has pitted for damage, it would seem, and so has Vans. So Vans started on the medium tyre, so I think that tyre advantage is lost already with the early pit stop. We saw quite a lot of cars coming together and through that S section, and we've got a Spinner. It's Spooner. Spooner's been touched from behind. Sorry, Ballots. Right in sector 1, Spooner touched from behind, and he's lost a lot of ground. He's all the way down to 15th now. And the Alpha of Daddy Big Jr. is getting absolutely swamped by cars in front. Some time penalties being dished out already. We're probably going to see quite a lot of these in this race due to the nature of the circuit and the track limits. But wow, there's some real tussles going on in that tight stadium section. Penalties being dished out left, right and centre at the moment in this early part of the race, Ballots.
And Basketball Boy is still pressurizing Corleone. Maybe he has a big advantage in that second sector through the S's. Maybe he changed his setup for good to give it a little bit more wing and get the traction on in this section, but it's very complicated to overtake in that section, Scientists.
Yeah, so coming into the stadium section, I was riding on board with Chappie, who pulled a nice move on Jake. Maybe he made took a bit of liberties with some of the track limits, but he made the move stick. And G-Mac started on the medium tyres, the fastest man on the track, and he's in the slipstream of the top 3, who are Corleone in the lead, with Basketball Boy second, D'Cunha now in third, having to get out of the way of Basketball Boy. The DRS is now activated, so we might see some position changes very soon.
Yeah, and it could be already here in lap 3 with Corleone leading and Basketball Boy maybe getting the DRS. It's not visible for me right now, and it seems like no, he hasn't got the DRS right now, so maybe a glitch in the game, but in lap 4 he will have DRS if he stays right behind Corleone.
Oh, and the two Renaults getting that side by side. So Twitch had taken to the glass coming out the first chicane of the turn 1 and 2 and got a couple of penalties for his troubles. He's now been passed by his teammate, a beautiful move by Psychopath, and now Aces versus Kings, and the Haas is now taking him, and Chappie's now got a penalty, and Corleone, the race leader's got a penalty. So I think a lot of guys are maybe running slightly wide in that twisty section, and the two Renaults side by side again. What a battle between the two teammates in the Renaults.
And we got a spicy battle that we didn't get on camera. It's between D'Cunha and the McLarens. D'Cunha first gained the position against Basketball Boy and then fell back into 6th position, and G-Meg was the laughing third. He's now in 2nd position.
D'Cunha spun out the pit entry. D'Cunha got on the power too early. I think he's pushed the limit of these tyres. He's having to pit now. He's probably got front wing damage, but I think he put the power down too early out the final corner and lost it on the acceleration. He's pitting.
And we got a virtual safety car. We got a virtual safety car, and Corleone is safe for the moment because he only got G-Meg behind him, and before the safety car was put on, G-Meg was about 3 seconds behind him, so he has to be very, very careful not to get penalized because he's now right behind Corleone, and it seems like to me that Corleone could be a few seconds down on his delta, or G-Meg was a little bit way too up. Yeah, he's now 1.8 seconds behind Corleone. So we got a new formation here. We got Corleone in first, G-Meg in second, Chappie in third, Jake in fourth. Both Renaults, Twitch and Psychopath, changed positions again, and it's 5th for Twitch and Psychopath in 6th, while Defog is in 7th and SJ and the Williams in 8th.
So D'Cunha served a penalty in the pit lane before switching to the hard tyres. So there was a gaggle of cars taking advantage of that VSC. I wonder if it was brought out because of D'Cunha's spin at the pit entry. Basketball Boy was one of those guys that pitted, and Aces versus Kings as well. They've gone onto the medium tyres. D'Cunha is obviously thinking the mediums aren't they're gonna grain up quite badly for the rest of the race, so he's opted for the hard tyres. We've got another penalty dished out for Doradin. I think we're back up to racing speed now, Balix. We've got some nice action going down the Red Bull Papa Whiskey and the Haas of Coupe, and the Haas makes the move stick on the Alfa Romeo.
Beautiful one. Corleone is still in first, G-Meg behind him. Chappie, the field is quite calmed down now for the virtual safety car, but G-Meg is already pressurizing Corleone because it's only 1.1 seconds between them. So let's see if G-Meg has the guts to get Corleone on the straights and get him with the strategy, because as you said, G-Meg might be on the medium tyre.
Oh, what a move. What a move by Twitch on Jake. Jake was getting out of shape in the... Oh, and Jake's lost his front wing, I think. Yeah, I wonder if Jake's out the race. He had a nasty collision with the barrier after Twitch had passed him. He's still running. Maybe he's just going to have to pit for front wing, but yeah, he was losing it big time in that twisty section heading into the final sector, and then collided with the wall, which I saw from the back of Twitch's rear wing. Twitch is now up to 4th place, and indeed Jake has actually pitted, and he will get a new front wing and go onto the hard tyres.
And G-Meg only 4/10 behind Corleone, got the DRS already out of the first section, and he's after the second braking point still behind Corleone. Cut that corner a little bit to gain some tenths there, but the only thing you get for that is a warning or either a penalty, so might have not been the best idea by G-Meg to do that, but if he wants to pressurize Corleone, he has to do something, because he's pretty solid in the lead right now. Of course, the strategy plays in the hands of G-Meg if he can conserve his tires and switch onto the soft tires later in the race. Let's see how that plays out. But Chappie is now in 3rd in the Mercedes, followed by Twitch in 4th, Psychopath in 5th, and we got a switch in the back between Vans and Dorada.
Yeah, I was watching that myself actually, and yeah, Vans was well in the DRS, and so he's made the move stick, and now Doradan's under pressure from his teammate Maggot, and they come together in the twisty section. I don't know what the corner names are. I don't know if they refer to just as turn 9, 10, 11, whatever. I like to call it the twisty Mexi section. But yeah, the two racing points coming together there. Dorada must have to pit for fresh tires soon. He's done 5 laps on the softs. He's been in the wars a little bit. He's probably going to have to pit for new tyres. But we've got a change for the lead.
We got a change from the lead because G-Mac overtook Corleone into turn 1 and is now in the lead on his medium tyres. It seems like that G-Mac has the race in his hands. Well, we got G-Mac and Chappie in 3rd position. Let's see on which tyre he's on. He's on the soft tyre. The only guy also on the mediums is Defog in 6th. So let's see how his strategy on a podium. And G-Mac trying to improve his position against Corleone and get a little cushion between him and Corleone, not to be pressurized by him with the DRS. And it seems like Corleone hasn't got the DRS, so no, he has it. He has the DRS right behind G-Mac, but it seems like he's too far away, and Chappie's into the pits.
So we've got a queue of cars behind DFAC in the Alpha Tauri, Daddy Pig Jr. in the Alpha, and Coupe in the Haas. Vans pulled off a move on Basketball Boy, I think it was. So Vans is on the softer tyre, but he will have to pit again. He's not going to get to the end on those tyres. He's already made 1 pit stop after the first lap. So we've got Chappie in the pits and Coupe in the pits. Probably going on to the... well, it'd be too early to go on the softs at this stage. We must have to go on the hard tyre if they only want to make 1 more stop.
Yeah, and I'm very, very keen to see what happens to the guys on the hard tyres, especially Maggot, who pitted very, very early and is now in 12th position on 5 laps old hard tyres. So maybe he's sniffing something in the Mexican air to get some points, and maybe with a strategy also to gain some seconds and climb up to the podium. But we're not there yet, because G-Mac's still in the lead, 2.6 seconds behind him. Corleone in 3rd, both Renaults in 3rd and 4th. And now Corleone is coming to the pits, and I bet a penny that Twitch and Psychopath are thinking the same. So Twitch is coming in, Psychopath 9 seconds behind him, could go for the same strategy without double stacking.
So Psychopath, I think, realises his teammate's going into the pits, and
yeah, he stays out.
Brilliantly decided to carry on. So Twitch, well, I don't think Psychopath's, the undercut's obviously not going to work here for Psychopath because he was behind Twitch. But that was there's a danger of double stacking when you're on the same tyre strategy. So how's it looking at the back? So Dacunia pitted on the hard tyres early on, but he's not been unable to make any inroads really. Maybe struggling with tyre temperatures. As I say, Maggot's on the hard tyre, and we've got a time penalty for SJ. And Papa with, and there's another position change between Vans, who's flying on these soft tyres, it has to be said. But I dare say he's going to have to make at least another pit stop.
Yeah, he has to. Yeah,
so normally in a 25% race, you want to get away with making as minimum stop as possible, i.e. a 1 stop. But it's unfortunately, I think he's going to fall right back down the field, and he probably will have to go. He probably has an extra set of soft tyres to go on, but we'll wait and see.
And the pit window for the soft tyres is now open, so G-Mac may be playing with the thought of changing tyres early, but I have to say he's 23 seconds in front of Psychopath, and now in front of Corleone because he got Psychopath because he's going to the pit. So G-Mac has a cushion of 24 seconds, and that could be it for the lead. He could stay there easy.
He's got a pit stop in hand on 2nd place at this stage of the race. That's incredible, driving from G-Mac. Wow. Yeah, I think he's just got to be careful he doesn't pick up too many penalties, but he has at least a pit stop in hand on the rest of the field now.
against Corleone because he already pitted and he's on fresh medium tires. So as soon as G-Mac pits, he's losing the time to Corleone.
I know, Alex, but I think it takes at least 20 seconds for a full pit stop without having damage, without having a nose change. So it's likely he's going to still come out ahead of Corleone and beyond the path.
G-Mac's coming in. Let's see if the pit stop goes by flawlessly.
So I'm watching Corleone now, who's coming into the stadium section on the medium tyres.
There was a smooth pit stop. There was a very smooth pit stop. And Corleone now entering the last corner, going onto the pit straight. G-Mac still at the pit exit, coming out now. But I think that's it for G-Mac.
Oh, what a nice move by Psychopath on the Mercedes of Chappie. Absolutely brilliant move, it has to be said. Going into that stadium section, brilliant move. Up to 9th place, Chappie down to 10th.
And Corleone.
And Psychopath is now taking bans. He's taken 2 cars in the space of a couple of corners. Absolutely fantastic driving from the Renaults.
And he's flying on this medium tire. So let's not forget about Maggot, who's in 6th position right now on the old hard tires. But these tires last long.
Oh, no.
Let's not forget that.
And Chappie was coming back at Psychopath down the inside with the DRS, and as he turned into to turn 1, I think he must have lost under acceleration because he's now lost a couple of positions back down to 11th place. That's really unfortunate for Chappie on this new medium tyres. 2 laps old, but still fairly new and maybe not quite up to temperature yet.
What do you think about Spooner's performance? He maybe has the most chances to close the gap to Nick and to Chetty Duck, and he's now in 7th with an incident early in the race. How do you see his performance tonight?
I think it was unfortunate to get caught up with an incident early on. I think he had a spin early on in the race, but he's done well to do 6 laps so far in these medium tyres. I think he's going to see these to the end. He's done well to get up to 7th place. He's hunting down Maggot in front of him, who's on harder tyres, so he should be able to get him because of the tyre advantage. And in fact, he's made up a position now on DFAC, who's now pitted.
And we got a disqualification for Daddy Pig, and we got an overtake. DB Coupe is going by Vance, I think it is. Yeah, he overtook Vance with the DRS before turn 1, so it's not a battle into the corner. That's every time very, very tricky. So if you get the opponent right before the turn 1, it's more relaxing for him. And right in front of him we got Psychopath stalking DFAC, who just came out of the pits and is now on the fresher, softer rubber, while Psychopath is on the mediums.
So DFAC is going to want to try and make up positions as quickly as possible on those soft tyres, making the most of that tyre advantage. In all the drama happening, I noticed that Jake has actually retired from the race, so we missed that off camera. And as you said, Daddy Pig disqualified, presumably for accruing too many penalties.
That's also what I thought.
So Spooner is within the DRS and Maggot, coming into the final onto the start-finish straight. Coupe is right on the gearbox of Psychopath, and then further back we've got a bit of a battle at the tail end between Doradin and Papa Whiskey, and who are both on medium tyres, and SJ in 14th on the hard tyres is a second ahead of Doradin. Let's switch back to Spooner.
Yeah, Spooner's right behind Maggot, and he couldn't use the first DRS zone for his advantage, but he got the second one ahead, and he's pretty close. He's about half a second behind Maggot, but it seems like Maggot got enough ERS to defend himself here, and simultaneously to attack Aces versus Kings, who's in 4th position on 8 laps old medium. So Spooner is seeing something here on the horizon, because Spooner got 8 lap old mediums behind Maggot on the hard tire, so it's very tricky who has the biggest advantage here, because we got DFUC in 7th with fresh soft tires, and he's only 7/10 behind Spooner. So the biggest advantage tire wise and strategy wise is on DFUC's side, and he could pass them all to get a podium maybe. Oh, we got a position change between Vans Racing and Chappie. They're going side by side through that last section, and Chappie had to cut the corner.
I was just, and Vans has hit the wall. I wonder if he's got front wind damage. And yes, in fact, he's pitted.
And he goes in.
So he must be struggling on those tyres. So 10 laps on the softs. He was probably thinking he might get away with getting onto the end on them, but I think the tyre degradation played a big part in the outcome there with Chappie.
And it also did in the battle between Defuck and Spooner, because Defuck is flying. He overtook Spooner and Maggot within 3 corners, is now in 5th behind Aces vs King already in his DRS zone. And we got now Aces vs Kings in 4th, Defuck in 5th, Maggot in 6th, and Spooner in 7th.
Nice little battle developing there. So, Vans, just to compound his misery, has a front wing change. He's actually gone back on a fresh set of soft tyres, so maybe he's going to go for the fastest lap. I think he's now, 19 seconds, I think, behind D'Acunha, so he's going to struggle to close that gap even on soft tyres with only 3 laps to go. I've been really impressed with the performance of the 2 Renaults today. They did have a bit of a ding-dong battle between the 2 of them, but it was very clean. Twitch is in 3rd. Psychopath has done really well, actually, to get to 9th place. He's being chased down by Chappie in the Merc at the moment, and Defuck has now taken Aces vs Kings with the DRS ballots.
He has. He's flying here. He's absolutely flying, and he's just 5 seconds behind Twitch Insta. The advantage for Twitch is his tyres are just 5 laps old, and he's on the medium, so they're developing, they get the temperature in, the rubber's going off, so he's got the grip now. But Defuck is absolutely flying. He's cutting 10th by 10th per sector, and he maybe has something in mind to get a podium and to open up his box of magic.
And we've got another position change. Chappie has taken Psychopath. Psychopath trying to come back at him, but Chappie gets the move done. I think Defuck is definitely in contention for driver of the day, from considering where he started. I think he started way down near the back of the grid, so he's made the alternate strategy work brilliantly. Another guy I've been really impressed with today is Corleone. He's not had the most exciting of races today, but he's comfortably in 2nd place, doing really well. So good performance from Corleone today.
Absolutely, especially after the last races where it seems like he's a bit nervous and has some problems to get the setup right and his car and keep his car on track, especially on a track where you got so much corners and exits where you can lose your car. And it seems like he was a little bit nervous and twitchy there, but today he's shown something very, very solid and good on this track. And Defuck is still behind Twitch, of course, but only 3.5 seconds, so he has 3 laps to get this cushion down, to bite it down, and to get close to Twitch maybe on the last lap, get the DRS. It's very, very powerful in here with the slipstream, and it could be a very, very exciting finish here.
So contrasting fortunes for McLaren today. G-Mac is way out front in 1st place, and his teammate Basketball Boy is right at the back of the field and is just pitted for a new fresh set of soft tyres and is trying to battle Doradin down the start-finish straight, as Maggot picks up a 3-second penalty, which will play nicely into Spooner's hands. This is a nice battle developing for 5th place. Maggot right on the gearbox of Aces vs Kings, and then Spooner just behind. We might have a little bit of a DRS train going down into turn 1, Alex.
And there's an incident with SJ because we got yellow flags, and SJ is going down the order, down to 16th now. And I'm right now with Aces vs Kings, who has to defend himself against Maggot and Spooner. And it's a very, very spicy battle, because Spooner is right behind Maggot and now trying to attack into turn 1 side by side. Spooner on the inside, making the move stick, and Maggot behind him has to back off. Spooner now in 6th position, 1.2 seconds behind Aces vs Kings. Got the DRS again, just to get the seconds and the 10th down to maybe get the DRS now against Aces vs Kings. And while we talk about getting the cushion down, we got Defuck only 1.1 seconds behind Twitch on the penultimate lap.
Yeah, there was nothing Maggot could do to defend that move with Spooner on the faster tyre compound and the DRS. So yeah, textbook move there from Spooner. Maggott did well to try his best to defend it, but when you're on the slower tyre compound, there's not much you can do there. But yeah, DFAC is now within DRS range of Twitch, so we've got a battle for the final podium position here between the AlphaTauri and the Renault.
Yeah, and he's using his ERS, and in a few meters he can use his DRS and Twitch, trying to escape the slipstream, but it seems like that DFAC has enough ERS left to get him on the straight. He's on the outside and making the move. Almost think they collide! Oh, but DFAC made it stick. No one's got damaged, that's a good thing. But Twitch is right behind him, while DFAC got the DRS and using all of his ERS that is left, and he made it happen. He's in third, he's on the podium right now, and Corleone is only laughing in his car because the pressure behind is off. It's absolutely off. He's securing second.
That's what I would call a robust overtake. It was fair play as we head to the final corner, and GMAC crosses the line. He goes towards the McLaren pit box and celebrates. A fantastic result for GMAC. Brilliant performance.
Absolutely
quite
brilliant.
Dominant, actually.
Absolutely brilliant.
Has to be said, dominant.
Dominant. The strategy was superb. The execution was superb. And now we got Corleone in second, crossing the line. We have to wait for DFAC because no one knows about the penalties. DFAC crossing the line right now, finishing in third. And Twitch is overtaking him because of penalties. Who would have thought that? Man, that was crazy. Ace is in fifth, Spooner overtaking Maggott because of penalties. So Spooner in sixth, Maggott in seventh, DB Coupe in eighth position right now. Oh! And we got DeCunha who lost it. And Psychopath against Chappie.
Disqualified. Chappie's been disqualified.
Oh, on the last corner. Possibly. Unbelievable. On the last corner.
I think he'll be marching up to the stewards after this race, but wow.
You won't believe it.
What another eventful race in the Tier 2 of the Sciences Reverse Grid League, Alex. My driver of the day personally has to go to the Dawn in the Ferrari. That personally.
Oh, yeah. It's a very close call. Yeah, it's a close call between GMAC, between Corleone and DFAC, because these were some superb performance. Corleone, of course, started in first and is now up to second. You can say he lost a position, of course, yeah, but his performance was pretty solid, and we haven't seen this before.
Yeah, that has to be said. I mean, yes, he did start in pole position, so he did have the track advantage, as it were. But yeah, I mean, there's one thing starting at the front is finishing at the front as well. But yeah, congratulations to GMAC. Solid performance, in fact, dominant performance has to be said.
Absolutely.
And well done to everyone in the top 10. Psychopath picking up his first points of the season, I believe. Spooner might be what's the word?
He might be a little bit disappointed. He might be disappointed just to finish in sixth.
Not more inroads on on Nick and Chatty Duck, who are ahead of him in the championship. But either way, you still have to finishing in the points is pretty good out of a total of 18 runners. But look at the amount of penalties, Alex.
Yeah, that's not impressive, but it's impressively high. So Santos, as we finish in Mexico, we are heading to Silverstone in a few seconds, and I'm very glad to see you again in Silverstone. So goodbye for now from Mexico, and we head to Silverstone in a few minutes.
Cheery bye, Alex.